Hi guys, and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Summer here, bringing you the first 3 episodes of the Faraway paladin.
I felt like there was a lot of storytelling, and I think it was a little bit boring for me.
Okay,
it's weird because the story is interesting, but I think maybe because it was just so much talking.
I personally loved it. I thought the storytelling and the lore and all of that just added to the story. It gave me like Mushoku Tensei vibes. It gave me like, I don't know, the good parts of the Records of Ragnarok, that kind of stuff. I liked hearing the explanation of the history of the world. I feel like they did world building really, really well. And like they came up with a situation which was sort of unfathomable and broke it down in the length that it should have been broken down in. I mean, I get why you thought it was boring because, you know, there wasn't too much shoo shoo and
I don't need that to be happening. We just watched Taisho, Atomi, Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
No action whatsoever, and I absolutely loved it. I don't need action from my anime.
No, that's
this was just boring. Like there's a difference.
Okay.
I don't need, not shonen every day, but sometimes just still boring. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that, you know, you need that. What I meant to say, or what I should have probably articulated better, was the fact that their method of telling the story was monotone.
Yes.
So, like, for example, we all like little dips and inflections when we're watching a story, even in speech. Like, that's why we stand up and listen or sit down and listen to charismatic speakers and comedians, because they're telling one story, but there's different tones and different movements. And what they did here was very monotone. Pictures and lore. And like, for me, I can do that. So that's kind of my personality. So I get what you mean. Like, they could have switched it up a lot more. Even their fight scenes weren't really fights. So I get it. But for me, oh my God, I thought this story was beautiful.
It was like the Chronicles of Idhun for me, when we did our Hot or Not, and we were just like, oh my God, they're just telling us so much instead of showing us any of the action. And that's probably what my problem was, like, just made it feel boring. You're right, the tone was all the same. And also the intention was unclear with Gus. We were discussing it as we were watching it, like, oh, was he intentionally trying to kill Will, or was he just testing him to see if he was powerful or whatever? And we both had different opinions on it.
Yeah.
And it was like we couldn't come to a conclusion, and that makes me feel like them showing the character's intent wasn't strong enough.
I mean, I have to agree that was the only letdown I thought about this anime so far. That it's very hard to get the motivations because of the secrecy and them literally telling you we're holding back information, and there wasn't a lot of transparency or a lot of this is what this character is thinking. But again, I enjoyed the journey. It's not going to be in my top 10, it's probably not going to be in my top 50, but it's definitely a good watch for me personally. Like the way that they explored polytheism and the way that they explored our techniques for meditation as being the way to connect to the gods, and the story behind the sort of Mount Olympus mythology extractions from that. I really liked it. Guys, you already know me, I like stuff like this, so it is what it is.
I like that we had a bunch of different gods that I am not used to hearing about.
Yeah.
And different stories surrounding them, because I actually like that type of stuff, so I thought that was really interesting. And I actually thought it wasn't too similar to like Mount Olympus. Yeah, I get it in the sort of setup where there's a bunch of gods, some of them are related and they're having interfight. Yeah, I get that aspect, but also it felt like it was his own thing.
Yeah, it was.
And
definitely.
I really, really liked that. I'm actually not sure if these gods are like real myths somewhere around the gaff, somewhere around the world. but I thought it was well done when it came to that. And I also liked the animation style, in particular Mary and Blood.
Yeah. The relationship between Mary Blood and Gus as well as Will, I thought was done really well. Like the whole upbringing of a child, teaching them all your knowledge, passing it down past the point where you personally can't grow anymore and giving it into a human. I really like that aspect, and I can't wait to see more of that happening.
I don't like the fact that they had such secrecy about how Will got here. I feel like they could have told him much earlier. They spent so much time telling us how much of a genius he is, how much he gets things, how much he understands, and then you held it up until he was 15 when he was like, I guess, a legal adult in that world. But he could have definitely handled it beforehand, and then you've put him in a really dangerous situation because the moment you've told him, you've got this god tearing through the sky, and it feels like they knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, they definitely knew.
So why couldn't you have just prepared him better and allowed for him to not be in danger?
I mean, like, they prepared him physically, but yeah, you're right. They could have prepared him emotionally for this situation, as well as him being the conduit for the High King demon coming out as well. Like,
right.
That was a 2-second thing where we could have had a whole episode on it. I feel like we needed more of that story.
They told us so much about so many different things, and then they just kept this for like a 2-second thing, and then bam, the sky opens.
I feel like throughout the rest of the anime we're gonna get more.
I feel like because this has happened, this unnecessary secrecy, we might actually end up with more unnecessary secrecy down the line, and it's gonna make the anime feel as if it's dragging to its conclusion.
I feel that the anime going forward is going to change. Like, completely change. It's going to be a completely different sort of anime. Like, I feel like all the action is about to come, and that's literally because of the openings and stuff that we've seen around it. So I feel like this is them getting it out of the way sort of thing before all the fights and all the turmoil and the conflicts occur. So you know the moment when Blood got Will drunk and decided that it was a good idea to go and peek on his mum? What the F was going on there?
I don't know. I'm not touching this one.
No, come on. You have to touch this one. Wait, actually, phrasing. But look, that's his mum. I know that that's the only female around, but really, ill. Like, ill.
Those three are tethered to this place and they're guarding the seal, but they know Gus's parents must be close by. Once Gus was old enough, because I think he was old enough a couple of years ago, why didn't they send him on a journey to see if he could find his parents?
Maybe they didn't think he was strong enough.
But they think he's strong enough to face this god that just tore through the sky.
I don't think the god's gonna touch him. He can't, because he has no patch with him and no beef with him. And plus, if he spills his blood here or takes him,
the seal will unlock.
seal will be broken, right?
I think so. I'm guessing it's a blood seal.
Yeah, I don't think the echo or stagnate is going to do it.
But he came through the sky and said, are you guys going to give me your souls now? If they're going to give souls right now, there will be no one to look after the seal. So does he care anymore? Because it was convenient for him then at the time. Hundreds of years have passed. Maybe he has a different agenda now, and maybe he doesn't care so much.
Or maybe he's got new heroes that will do the job better. I don't know. It's been 200 years. Surely there's some other geniuses out there. Do you get what I mean? Other people he's made pacts with over 200 years. So that could be the case. Do you think Gus loves him the most out of the three of them?
I don't know, and this comes back to motivation. Like in episode 1, when he was not being that nice to Will, and he said sorry, he did this little look and pulled his hat down, and they had a little bit of weird music in the background, and then we saw him attack Will. So I don't know. I feel like maybe he was supposed to kill him, and then he couldn't go through with it, but you considered it enough. So could you love him the most?
Yeah,
no, probably not.
Yeah, you're right. And also, what do you think about the magic system here? It's actually pretty cool, in my opinion.
I actually thought it was pretty cool as well, the way that they were talking about the power of words and put so much emphasis on it, and as if they're like divine words left behind by the gods.
Yeah.
And that's how they're able to wield any kind of magic. I really like that, and I love the explanations as well.
What do you guys think? Are you loving it? And is it called Faraway or the Faraway Paladin?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Peace.